Hello, welcome to Swiss Watchmaking. Today with a very special review. It's actually a brand which you will not see much often in the wild because it's very rare. And it's one of the brands I also visited during my first actual Basel World as a Instagram person or a photographer or however you would call it. Today we're going to talk about Akrivia and one watch in particular, the Akrivia AK-06. Akrivia was founded by Rexhep Rexhepi. He's a very passionate, artisanal and great watchmaker who puts a lot of attention to detail, and also is one of those guys in the industry who try to go a bit back in time and create watches the way they were used to be made. Akrivia has a beautiful atelier in Old Town Geneva, so if you happen to be in Geneva, I urge you to go see it. You can actually see the watchmakers working on the watches day in, day out. And it's very cool because you will be surprised, the team is very young. Rexhep works alongside also his younger brother Jevdet, who is doing a great job showing the behind the scenes of how it's being made on Instagram. I remember when I went to Basel and I met Rexhep and I saw the Akrivia collection of watches on the table. By that time I saw around 10 pieces lying on the table, which was incredible. Nowadays, I don't think Rexhep has even 2 watches in his workshop because the demand for Akrivia has gone so up in the last 1 or 2 years that it's incredible. I'm really happy for them. The watch we're going to be looking closer at today is the AK-06. It's also the only non-tourbillon model from the brand and the first one. I love it for various reasons. For me, Akrivia in this case is very distinct. I love the avant-garde look. I love the way the case is polished and finished and brushed from the side. I love the architecture and I really like it because it's not something you've seen before around. So when you see this case shape, you immediately recognize that it's Akrivia. On the side you have a beautiful crown at your normal 3 o'clock position, which is polished and brushed and has the Akrivia logo embossed on it. The case of the AK-06 is 41 millimeters wide and only 9.9 millimeters thick, which is really cool because it gets under the cuff really easily. And because this model is made out of titanium, I mean, the wearability and the comfort is undescribable. The case is not the only thing or the most important thing about the Akrivia watch anyway. Let me dive into the dial, and also when I turn the watch around, I'm sure your jaw will drop. The dial of the Akrivia AK-06 is, so to speak, skeletonized. So you see all the important components. Rexhep and the team really wanted to show it so you can see how the watch works. It has a special finish. As you see, the so-called dial in this instance is hand hammered and it has also a perlage decoration. So hand hammering works in a way which is very difficult and takes a lot of time to create. Basically they take a little hammer and a little like a pin and they slowly hammer it on the dial, which takes hours to create and is very intricate work. And also it gives you this frosted look. Some companies make this like with machines, but Akrivia, because they're more artisanal and they want to keep it pure, they create it by hand. And on the lower side, let's say from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock, you have visible perlage decoration, which also they do in-house. Some other types of decoration on the Akrivia watches, for example, mirror polishing, which you can see throughout the dial side of the movement, as well as from the back side of the movement, which you'll see later. What this watch is also known for though is it has a 100-hour power reserve, which you can see at 12 o'clock. The power reserve indicator, the numbers which you can see here, are actually also hand engraved. And the little arrow pointing to how much power reserve you still have is, I think, also hand painted with like a light blue color, which again are details which most watch brands just don't do. The Akrivia logo at 12 o'clock is also hand polished and mirror polished. What also makes this watch very special is it features a stop zero function. It's a so-called mini complication in a watch where basically when you pull out the crown, the seconds hand will go to 0, which you can use for a more accurate setting of time. And when you do that, a lot of the levers and gears start to move, and it's really cool to see. and then you put the crown back in and you can see how the second hand will start moving. For many people, a 3-hand watch like this, costing around 84,000 Swiss francs, seems like a lot of money. But if you are a watch connoisseur and let's say a real collector, and you have watches in this price range, you can really appreciate the work and craftsmanship they put into this watch. What you also see, you have a lot of black polishing on the dial from all of these small components here, and also the tip of the hands are black polished by hand, and the steel hands are hand blued with a small fire in the atelier. They use small, I think, brass components, and then they lay the steel hands on top of it, and then they put a small fire underneath it, so it blues out evenly. Let me now turn the watch around for you guys, and you'll see what I meant by a jaw-dropping movement. Again, my opinion, but I think we'll agree on this one. So Akrivia designed this AK-06 movement in-house, of course, and it has a lot of decorations, a lot of finishings, and the movement is actually made out of gold. So it sparkles, it shines, and when you finish it, it looks really awesome. What you can also see that the movement is very symmetrical. If you cut it down the middle vertically, you would have the same mirror-like lines if you would fold it. Again, you see all the bridges in the middle at 12 o'clock and at 6 o'clock as well are also hand polished with the black polished decoration. You have your Côte de Genève or Geneva stripes on the top of the bridges. You have beautiful anglage beveling on the movement as well. And also you have the Akrivia and the model number at 12 o'clock here, which actually is also hand engraved. Below the gears, the guys at Akrivia applied a perlage decoration, also made in-house in their atelier in Geneva. As you can see, the backside of the case has unique screws, has a brushed finish to it, and the Akrivia and the AK-06 logo on it. You see the strap is also very special. It's from both sides a different color. Rexhep's wish and goal is to make all the watches by hand as much as he can, and as much of the components he wants to make in his atelier in Geneva. Made in Geneva, which Rexhep does, is a higher standard than your usual Swiss-made standard. It's by far superior, and also the way Rexhep finishes the watches, the Swiss-made labeled watches can't even compare to it. So you really get a lot of value for money if you, let's say, buy this watch. From what I heard, and I think we spoke about this last time in Baselworld with the team, each watch is made from 0 to 100% by one watchmaker, which is really cool, because if you go to Akrivia with your watch, they can tell you who made it. I'm really happy for the team at Akrivia and Rexhep, because in the last 1.5 years they had a huge success with the Chronometre Contemporain, which is basically sold out, and recently they had a huge result at the Only Watch auction, which just showed you how much people really love the brand and believe in the watchmakers and the longevity of it. Let me put the watch on the wrist so you guys can see how smooth it fits me. It has a beautiful, unique tank buckle, and the strap is very thin. I don't think it's padded, which is perfect because it makes it so comfortable. As you can see, it has a beautiful buckle, which is also polished and brushed and has the Akrivia logo embossed on it. And the watch on the wrist is just perfect. I mean, it hardly gets more comfortable than this. It fits under the cuff. You can also dress it up, dress it down. I see my friend wears it sometimes with a suit, sometimes just on a casual shopping day. It's really a very versatile watch with a low profile. If you have any questions regarding the Akrivia AK-06 in this review, let me know, leave a comment. On the side you have again a picture of a watch we'll be reviewing next time. If you know which watch this is, please comment down below. Maybe you'll guess it right. It's a very special model, which will be a different time indication, which you haven't seen before on this channel. Thank you for watching and see you soon.